brown is going to get cleared into the open court. Not quite sure who won the first hoop, but that will be revealed to us very shortly. Knowing that pink is going to be all over brown like a rash, green's going to see if it can send it at least coughing distance away. Or a block, or I'm not sure. That was not what I was expecting. It was a position that's gone too far.
One. Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure about taking pink there. Yes, you can, but if you clear it down, it's still a decent chance of hitting brown. I like taking white as the hoop running ball. So we'll see what she attempts to do here, whether she, again, sets up. That could indicate that white isn't a great position to actually run the hoop, which might explain why she just approached with green, or she might be having a crack with brown. But then again, being one game up, oh, sorry, she's one game down, rather. We need to change that score.
Yeah, it must be in hoop running because she's had no other eyes than for the hoop here. It didn't go through, but popped back out in front. But green and brown are both there to affect clearances on the two balls.
Mm.
It seems like this game's taking the same pattern as the first one, where it's cut and thrusts and a very even match between these two ladies. Yeah, nicely controlled striker ball. Just rolled on a little bit more than she probably planned that to.
Good shot.
That's another good control. Yeah, another
so
good control
again,
clearance.
We're seeing her clear a lot and struggle to get into positions where she's in control of the hoop and not having to clear, which could just be Kate's ability to play those really mid-pace clearances and then get herself back into a position like that, which is a great shot, even with green and brown so close. And Julie's again taking on the hoop here.
I think she's aiming at pink, but it's hard to tell sometimes.
I mean, she might be. Pink can clear, and she is. Clear brown there. However, yes, we haven't seen Kate hit one of these hard yet, but still the play for Kate here is to clear brown as the aggressive shot. But then again, I can't make the hoop if she's sitting in a wide position from green, which she's not. And I don't know if she's gone for the block there, but either way, it's a bit no man's landish. Doesn't really get her any benefit.
Yeah, it seems like she tried for the block, and like you said, it could have been better off to sacrifice the white and get the pink in the wide position from the green. But still, she's got two balls in front, and it's brown and green doing all the clearancing at the moment.
Gentle again. It's
Yeah.
not a great result.
So it seems like Julie is going to let white have a chance of a jump here. Because that was a shot at pink that missed.
So do you approach here with pink being able to clear green wherever it goes through the hoop, or do you attempt the hoop and try and roll both through?
Well, you can catch the green ball in the hoop and the brown ball offside. That would have been not the last decision. I either would have tried to jump or approach to the side.
It's a bit of a free jump, isn't it? Because pink is in such a good position to clear whatever goes in front of the hoop. But now, white will be cleared going towards the south boundary with ideally a good stop shot, which she has. Good shot.
But this is a very cut and thrust and interesting game.
Yeah.
It's looking like it's got good pace. Just a bit too far.
So, with a good clearance here to the boundary, pink and white are again in control. Julie does have that power Croquet, though, that it doesn't look like Kate really has. So wherever it goes sort of towards that boundary, Julie should be able to clear back fairly powerfully.
And we saw that the shot then, because it was a little bit softer, the roll of the lawn went against that shot as well. Oh no! Almost rush peeled it. Fortunately, it just bounced out rather than sitting in the jaws or going through the hoop, but it was awfully close.
Ooh. And that's an interesting shot there. So defensive, but not really.
Yeah, it still seems open. Yeah, that was very close to being rushed through. So the ball positioning doesn't make it easy for either of these ladies to immediately gain control. It's going to have to come after a few shots here. And that's not going to help brown and green get control. So what Kate will want here is a nice approach in front of the hoop with white, given that brown and green have gone and put themselves over the other side of the court, which she's gotten. It's really a strong feature of Kate's game is she might not have the power in the clearances, but she's certainly got the touch in the approaches.
Yeah, I hate playing players who just are able to get in front of hoops really well every single time. It has, it means you need to change your game a little bit, and it can be very tricky to play against.
Yeah, it puts so much pressure on the opposition, because even if they get a shot, if you have balls in front of them, then it can get in their mind that if I miss, the other player is going to make this hoop, and it just adds pressure that if that's not there if they don't have another ball in a better position. So you're right, players that can just bang in front all the time, especially if you are not having your best hoop running day, can be doubly difficult. So white decides it's time to run the hoop. And successfully does.
Very good.
Yeah, we're certainly seeing battles for these hoops. So even more important when the two players are so well matched are these first hoop approach shots, because if green can get in front of the hoop, it means that pink and white need to shoot at it from the other side of the court. Whereas if it's a bad approach, it takes all the pressure off pink and white. We haven't seen where it's dropped yet. It looks like
so green is very, very, very good. Yeah, she'll really have to go hard at it with white. Otherwise, you've got to say it's sort of all over for hoop 3 a lot quicker than hoop 2. And brown rather, is that good that even if she does clear green, green's got a shot to clear pink into the lawn and still have full control of this hoop. So a couple of good positional shots. Oh, she's got tremendously lucky there. I don't think either ball can run the hoop, and green can't clear pink to a spot where it can't clear brown. So I'm sure she would have been going for green there, but ended up with a very good result, ricocheting off brown first.
Yeah, it's good to see players pull off things that they would have worked on in training in the matches.
So still going for this hoop.
Yeah, probably trying to jaws it at that angle.
It's fairly angly. Yeah, good jaws. Pink should be able to nestle that out, but it is a shot Pink has to. Oh no. Pink really needs to try and get green out here, because if brown can clear pink, it's got a massive advantage running 3, going down to 4. So with brown here, you're going to be shooting at pink every day of the week and hitting it hard. At white rather. She's shooting at green. That loses all advantage if green goes through, where she's only got a 4-yarder on white, so she really should be able to get white to the south boundary. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's not terrible. She's still got full control of the hoop. I guess she can still get an advantage out of it, and she's hoping that Kate will put green through. Interesting.
Yeah, unexpected.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
What an outcome.
That is an amazing position to end up in. Okay, well, I guess that's why she didn't shoot it with pink first. She clearly could see that it was, touching the wire in a certain way that would allow her to pop it out like that. Yeah, interesting.
So this is a clearance or a jump?
No.
Yeah, so she might regret not clearing that white ball when you were mentioning it a couple of shots ago.
Yeah, I mean, and the other advantage of, taking that 4-yarder on is your ball's never going to sort of sit there. So she's got a decent chance if she hits it fairly hard and, hard enough to get that white all the way onto the south boundary, that her ball's going to pop forward as well and be down the lawn a little way. But then, the ultimate risk with that is your opponent. And that's another great shot. She's got this ball like on a string. She's got the weight of the lawns better than I've ever had the weight of any lawn. That is awesome.
That's also a big call, Ed.
Well, she's absolutely nailing her weight here. And if I could do that every game, I feel like I'd be close to unbeatable. So if she can start hitting some of her roquets to give herself a bit more of an advantage in some spots, she should be able to win both games here.
Yeah, the hoop approaches have been spot on. So brown and green have gone from being in the jaws, seemingly hoop done and dusted, to now being on the defensive against pink and white, all in within a couple of shots.
Mm-hmm.
How the tables turn. Oh, that didn't go to plan.
Not terrible, depending, on where pink, like if pink goes through the hoop, then yes. But other than that, you've given yourself a pretty good defensive shot down the lawn. At the sort of shots these guys are playing, maybe not ideal, but in a different level of croquet when long range, like 7 yards and under, is guaranteed to be hit, and at a decent distance, that's a pretty good choice of shot to sort of sneak off a ball and go to the boundary. So may have been intentional, because if you just stop shot it to the boundary, it can clear back or sit in front and you've got white there. Good shot. Yeah. So there you go. So Green's got a chance of running the hoop here, which, may have been intentional. Anyway.
And I'll bid you goodbye. And Greg Berry is coming in to be with you, Ed. So enjoy Greg's company. And Fantastic. I'll talk to you all next time.
Will do.
See ya.
Thanks, Wade. Hello, Greg.
Hi, Ed. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, good. I've enjoyed your commentary, and the games we've been watching have been great entertainment.
Yeah, yep. They've included some ups and downs and some great shots and some unlucky shots. So yeah, it's
Which I think you've nailed it on the head
good to
with the
see.
positional play is obviously taken a very important part of this game is the positional play and how the players are adjusting to the conditions, and obviously the hoops are a bit tighter and the games of from the hoop making skills of makes a difference.
It does indeed. Yeah. Some of the shots haven't quite, or Kate hasn't been able to take advantage of some of a really strong positional play, which has been unfortunate to see because it could just about be a great lesson for anyone in when you are, absolutely on with your weight of shots, how you're able to manipulate the game in your favour so much. And she, for these first 3 hoops, has just about done that. Hasn't quite been able to generate really easy, good hoop shots quite yet. But as soon as a couple more go well, she'll probably be able to take some charge of the game just through these. All 3 of these hoops, Julie's sort of ended up clearing from boundaries, with Kate's balls being in front of the hoop. So here she goes with another easy hoop shot, and if she can get it down towards hoop 4, she should be all over the first few hoops here. Have you been watching for long, Greg?
Yes, I've tuned in for a while. Kate's experience is showing through a little bit. Obviously, a South Australian captain of the state team and been around for a while. Just that strategy around the hoop is paying off for her at this point.
Yeah, for sure. I've really liked some of Julie's tactical decisions. So she's clearly, understanding that she's got a critical distance of sort of somewhere between 5 and 7 yards where she's hitting 50% of her shots. So she's actually, making decisions based on those short boundaries, which have been or shown that she's got a really good understanding of high level croquet, which is very cool to see because it's something that when you sort of get out of the first couple of eights at an event like this, some of the depth below there, the tactical play can be a bit patchy. But this is the first women's 8, but should hold some pretty classy players, and both of these women are showing their prowess, as you're saying. Kate showing her experience and managing to get those, quite tight, controlled situations around some hoops, while Julie's, showing a modern, aggressive approach to play, which is very good. But look at that from Kate again. I mean, how do you play against that? Just chucking balls into foot in front positions from all over the place. It's really phenomenal, actually.
Yes, it's great to see, and it just puts the pressure on the opponent. Like, it makes them have to hit, and if your opponent's not hitting well and not using the percentages, it creates those opportunities and takes the pressure off you when you're able to put the balls in such great positions.
Absolutely. And when you've got 2 balls sort of at hoop 4 that are 2 yards in front, you're going, I'm in a great position here. And then your opponent gets, 1 foot and 2 foot in front. It completely changes the complexion of every single hoop, and you've sort of got to reset. So yes, Julie's hit another good clearance there, but she needs another couple of good ones, and she might not be able to maintain control of this one, trying to get white away from the hoop while staying somewhere in front. Green's not bad though. Green's a good clear on pink to stay under some control.
Just taking her time here, making sure that she's doing everything she can to execute it perfectly. Not an easy stroke. And she's done very well to get through.
Shows her time to go for the aggressive shot, and that's a good choice and a good execution.
Yes, particularly with the two opponent balls on the playing side. So really important for White to get that hoop position and continue control. It is a runnable. She would have liked that a little bit further. So Green with a couple of options. She could put a ball in and hit it away with her brown ball, or she can try and knock it away from hoop 5, probably with a shot with not so much pace, so her brown ball stays near the hoop.
Yeah, I like shooting first over here when that ball's short like that. She hasn't quite got the result. If you hit that and your ball sort of stays within the distance of 7 yards from that hoop, I think that's a really good result almost every single time. She unfortunately, I think, has gone slightly further than a yard or two past hoop 1. So she's sort of back into a similar, oh, there you go. So she's almost on the boundary. So she hasn't really got the value out of it that she needed, but you can still generate a pretty good couple of shots here. If Brown goes into a, more sensible in front position, White approaches the hoop, and then Green clears Pink. You're actually in a really, really good position, which is more the standard way of playing it than shooting with your first ball over. Although it is generally a 6 or 7 yarder, as was the case with that last one.
Kate sort of taking control of this hoop with a 2-on-1 situation, putting the pressure on Julie to hit in. Looks like she's lining
yet
up
again.
now.
Yeah, Kate's deciding not to hit really at all while she's down and around the hoops.
And it is surprising. I mean, the majority of players that are hitting all the time are generally behind. It's the players that are manipulating and tactical play around the hoop. You generally find they're in front because it does put a lot of pressure on you to hit every time. Another opportunity for Kate, depending on the angle, whether we're happy to get the point and run or some people.
She's struggled with some of these, just hitting it gently again. And similar result to what she's been having with those hoops. Just has been a little tentative to hit them with any real force, which I don't know if that's conscious or, as wanting to try and jaws them and control down to the next hoop, or, genuinely trying to run it, and that's her best running pace. It's an interesting one. Because the advantage of getting down to the next hoop can generally be considerable.
I suppose it is a good tactical ploy to get in the jaws, particularly in hoop 5, to get control at hoop 6. But you never want to underestimate your opponent of jumping of any distance, because they'll come back and hurt
you. Yes, they will.
So she's done well here.
That's an interesting one.
Conceded. Yeah, Brown obviously now on side if Pink was to make the hoop. So it'll be interesting to see whether Kate actually makes it and forces the Brown to come back.
Yeah. She's got a really great swing and a lot of power and just good overall technique, Julie. I've been very impressed watching her, actually.
Yeah, she looks very steady and confident. Which is probably why she's been so consistent over a period of time. I mean, you look at the block of the ladies and the caliber of people playing in this event. We got the reigning champion Mary McMahon from Queensland in there, Rosie Landrib, Robin Dart, and Pamela. Like they've been around for a while, so none of these games are going to be easy for them.
Which is awesome for the depth of Australian golf croquet at the moment, and it's great to see some of the younger ones getting a chance in the under 21s over in New Zealand at the moment. been very pleasing watching them. It's a good state for Australian golf croquet to be in. And hopefully we can have a decent crack at the next World Teams and onwards from there.
Absolutely. So again, Kate in charge of hoop 6 with the first ball near the hoop. Brown opting to take a position and possibly looking at clearing pink with green in her next turn. Kate now probably looking at putting in a nice one, like her consistency of putting in a nice blocker is percentage play for her right now is to do exactly that, whether she's blocking green from pink or just blocking the hoop run with green.
Wow.
But again, the pressure's back on Julie to hit.
Ooh.
Just missing to the left-hand side. Still green onside if pink or white run the hoop. And again, Kate just taking her time and just making sure she gets her routine right to get another one and get possibly 4-2 up.
Yeah, well, and out of nowhere as well. It's been very unassuming, and both players have been playing good shots. She's just managed to get very good position, and again, gentle at the hoop, and hasn't hit a good one at all, straight into the near wire. So
She's
another
not hitting that
opportunity for
hoop.
Julie to get some control. Yeah.
So it's a nice little stun shot on white, makes brown ball the ball in control.
Mm-hmm.
White having to come back from a distance. She's played it beautifully. Not hitting it too hard, white just arriving to the boundary, which means brown has travelled a minimal distance and taking charge with a hoop running position. Kate just happy to come in again and possibly hit brown with the pink ball. Unfortunately, it's just gone that little bit too far for her.
Yeah, so will Julie shoot or not here? You know, if she does, it's the aggressive option. If she doesn't, then Kate can again just regain control by hitting short little roquets and playing them gently as she does. So we will see. So it'll depend on Kate's. Oh my golly, that is a bit of tremendous luck. She may have been trying for it though.
Curved
Sounds like a bit calling at luck.
Didn't it?
Yeah.
We might even see a bit of a bombard here. Quite happy just to block the run on brown to the hoop.
Righto. Well, Greg, I'm going to be handing over to Josh Smith, who has come over to join us. I will be back on tomorrow. Thanks, folks. Enjoy the rest of this match.
Thank you, Ed. And welcome, Josh. How are you?
Hey, mate. How's it going?
Yeah, very well.
Brilliant.
Thank you for joining us all over from across the Tasman.
Yeah, and the beautiful weather of Palmerston North.
And then how's that cyclone? Is it going to affect you at all where you are?
It's due to join us on Monday. If the path stays in its predicted way, it will join us Monday morning. but we will see how that eventuates.
So we're just seeing Julie now with an opportunity to come back, score at the moment with Kate 3 and Julie 2. This will maybe make it easy for us.
And she's got it.
Nice. Which is really good.
So what match are we following here? Are we following one from the women's first flight?
Yes, this is the First Ladies women's block.
Brilliant.
So it's Kate playing Julie.
Yep. No, Kate. Brilliant.
It looks like Brown might be in the way of Pink running the hoop. Kate coming from a fair distance, obviously creating a 2-on-1 situation, putting the pressure on green to hit the pink ball that looks like it could still be in a hoop running.
Yeah, it's certainly hard to tell from the screening. Brown looks like it's in the appropriate position. Oh, she's going for the block. Has she got it? Yeah, no. Oh.
All right, so Kate just quite happy to remove the opponent ball and create the 2-on-1. Brown now in a position where possibly go to a long hoop running position. It's quite sensible, so it doesn't get hit away. Green looks like it's going for a little trip.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a little bit of a wick off here. Hopefully white stays in a position. No. Not bad.
Definitely
but,
went to the line.
Yeah, certainly. Right, and I think Greg, in this position, if you were green, what would you be doing?
Well, seeing pink or white can't run the hoop, it's probably best to percentage-wise, I can go just a little bit deeper, which it looks like she's trying to do, and get myself in a position where I can have a crack at it. So regardless of where they hit, I'm still going to be in front of the hoop at some point.
Yeah, certainly. I think I'm okay with green and brown in the positions. And all pink does is block brown.
Yeah. So your green and brown have the last say, really. They have a choice.
Yeah.
Hit a ball away or make the hoop, or so they're actually dictating what play will take place the next 2 or 3 shots. This is where the conditions really play a big part. If the hoops are difficult and they're tight and it's they've had trouble during the day, obviously percentage play would be to hit away and create the 2-on-1. However, if you're running hoops quite nicely, well, you could go for it every time. So it just comes down to percentages. That's looking like it's heading for the hoop.
Yeah, certainly. That's a hoop shot. Oh, it's commentators don't know what they're talking about shot.
No. Anyway, she knows she's created the 2-on-1, playing the percentages, and is still in control of this hoop.
Yeah, certainly. And all she's doing is forcing white to go for a long clearance here. Yeah, that's. I find white's position here a little bit counterproductive, to be honest. she needed to regain control, and I don't think she's quite done it with that shot there. From what I'm seeing, what I'm looking at, it's just given Green the opportunity to go for the hoop.
Had a little bit of a mishit there. At least she's attacked the hoop. Pink might still be in a hoop running position. But with Brown on the other side, and there was probably no harm in going for it in that time.
Although given the position that looks like Pink was in, it kind of seemed like a really super aggressive shot. Although Pink has rejected almost straight back, it still now leaves Pink and White in control of this hoop. Just out of curiosity, what are the handicap ranges in this women's first flight event?
They probably range from -1 to probably a 4 or a 5, just depending on it's all the top ranked ladies are in the women's first block, and then the second block you're probably looking at probably ranges from 2 to 5. But yes, put them all together. They're all very capable of beating each other on the day. It just comes down to form. And obviously the beginning of the season, a lot of these players, this is their first competition for the year. They probably haven't had the match fitness and play prior to leading up to this event. And the weather conditions here in Australia have been extremely warm, to say the least. So this is a great event for people to get their game sorted.
Great. She's just nicked Pink there with a bit of a hard shot. So Pink shifted towards the boundary there, and it's but it wasn't a full ball shot, so she's still got an opportunity to go for that hoop, which for me, I quite like the option of going for this hoop from Kate.
Yeah, she hasn't got the pressure of the opponent around her, and White's still there as a backup. And she's done very well.
Without that pressure, she goes through. Well done.
So Brown's just
there
onside.
Just onside by the looks of it. Fantastic. Nice little short approach here. And we're going... Yep, in a probably reasonable position, I would say.
Okay, probably had a bit of a double there with the Brown and the hoop. Probably gave it just that little bit extra to keep it straight. It does curve a little bit here on lawn 2. Hopefully Kate's got a bit of a swing to get the pink one down as well. Green probably looking to block the Brown or the hoop. So Kate can't attack. And she's done well to get rid of the brown ball.
Yeah, it's brilliant shot.
Green and Brown in a commanding spot here. They should take charge of this hoop, and a bit of work for Kate to battle back with it. This is a very prestigious event in Australian croquet. They started in 2011, and back then John Livick was the winner of the first President's Eights. Tony Hall was the winner of the second President's Eights, and Judy Wenbridge of the ladies. And it's interesting to see the majority of the players that have competed over a long period of time. You look at Peter Landrib and Kevin Beard and Chris McWhirter, Lester Hughes. They've all won events 2 or 3 times, so it's great to see these guys come back and compete at the highest level for such a long period.
I think for me, I'm of awe of you guys having this facility that you guys have here, where you can pretty much get everyone there under the same venue, and I think that's brilliant. And yeah, definitely in awe of you fellas over in Australia having that facility.
Yes, we're very fortunate, and a lot of hard work has been done in the background, particularly with the volunteers. And we talk of Kevy Beard and Lester Hughes and a whole lot of others that have, the lawns, that they don't just look after themselves. And we are very fortunate that people have dedicated so much time for the benefit of others.
Yeah, for certain. So what would you say the speed of the lawns are running at today? There doesn't look like to me a lot of great effort being given. So to me, you've got quite speedy courts there.
Yes, I'm not quite sure of the actual speed, but traditionally for all our events, it is quite quick. And that just, I believe that the better player will actually win when the conditions are a little bit tougher, particularly when the hoops are put in properly and nice and firm. So it just makes it a great facility to find the true champion of the time.
I just want to take special mention as well to your young fella Timothy Wright for making the top 16 of the under-21s. It's an amazing effort on your guys' part, and unfortunately he came across an ex-club member of mine, Joel Steele, and Joel beat him in the end. And since has gone all the way to the semi-finals now. So semi-finals of the under-21s. What's left is 2 Kiwis, an English and an Egyptian left.
Yes, all of our Australians have done extremely well, particularly when you look at Curtis Mead, Ethan Gumbel, Addison Matthews, Jamie Fleming, and Frances Wright actually got a Guernsey as well just in the last minute, and has won her first game in the plate event. But yes, they've had a good run into the event with the Australian Championships just beforehand, and really enjoying themselves in the elite company of under 21.
Yeah, it's certainly a building block and something that every country needs to strive for and keep building upon. Certainly no easy feat to be doing, that's for sure. So yeah, massive congratulations to everyone who's actually competed and given it a crack.
So a difficult shot here with the green ball, but she goes through nicely. Lovely execution. Maybe we can see that on a replay.
That seemed to be quite an up shot. That was a lot of bounce on that, and yeah, moved it. So yeah, that'd be grand.
So Julie fighting her way back. She was a few hoops behind not so long ago, and as we've seen many times before, the tide can turn, and she's done extremely well to get the scores where they are now.
I'm not going to replicate a famous commentating pair over in New Zealand that can continually said the turn, but yes, the turn can happen in golf croquet quite considerably.
Yes, another factor is that these players have been going all day, like they've had a few games under their belt already, and in conditions in Melbourne, which is not normal, has been in the mid-20s with a top temperature of 29 expected. So lovely conditions to play in, but obviously it is a long day, so you can expect a few errors towards the end of the day. A lovely stroke. Really important for Brown to take control of the next hoop now that she's coming from behind. Kate with a bit of an option here. She can get between the Brown and the hoop and probably try and block and then execute with her next ball. Looks like she might have had a bit of a double. Always need to be wary of the second game and the double banking. Balls can go anywhere, and if it's not been missed hit, but all part of the game is to keep an eye out for the other game.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to have eyes in the back of your head most of the time in this sport. That's a fair shot there by Green. Good backup to Brown. So let's just see what Pink's got a shot at. Just pop Brown out of the way a little bit.
Yes, as mentioned earlier, players have come from all over the country to represent themselves in this prestigious event. And players do all sorts of things to get here. I remember in years gone by, Chris McWhirter, for example, would just jump off a plane in the morning. He'd fly that night, jump off the plane about an hour later, grab his mallet and start playing, just to be able to play in this event. And it's just so great to see so many people here.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Brown just had a shot at the hoop, missing off the right hand leg. If you're facing it, right hand leg there. So Kay looks like she's going for a nice clearance on green, I'd say. No, she's just checking which ball to play. Yep, Brown played, so it's white to play.
She's got a couple of options.
Still a bit of a fan. Yep, I'm still a bit of a fan of blocking here, which I quite like the option, although that is not it. Yeah, clearing for me or block play would be my options on that shot there, not the back of the hoop.
A little unfortunate. Sometimes these lawns do, there is a bit of movement, and it is difficult to get past, so that possibly the lawn has contributed to that stroke. So to Julie, just checking out the scene, probably looking for a position that's wide from the white ball. She could also use the green ball to protect pink from hitting brown. But there's a couple of positions there that would be most favourable for her. And nicely done.
Yeah, it's a beautiful position on brown. Yeah, she got that block.
Done well.
She?
We're just making sure that it hasn't come through to the playing side where white can actually score the point if it goes through from that direction.
Okay, so the range of handicaps in the first women's 8 is between 0 and 2.
Which is a pretty high standard. It's not easy getting into that range.
Well, I played at my highest level when 0 was the highest you could get to, and then I stopped for a couple of years and came back and suddenly found out that I was no longer a 0. I was a minus. So, yeah, newsflash. Yeah, unlucky shot there. I know she was just trying to nudge Brown out of the way. So now Brown's got a nice little jump shot over. Did we get? It must have come all the way through to the playing side white. If she's doing this shot here.
Yes, it looks a little close, doesn't it? So I'd be making sure that we had that adjudicated first, and white has gone through. It's just whether or not it came all the way through from the non-playing side. And she put in a clip on.
Yes, got a little bit of replay here. Yep. A little bit of kick in the end there. I like that.
Yes. So another point to Kate. That must take her to 6 now.
Yeah, so it must 6-4 to Kate now. Must say, Green and Brown have been doing some absolutely amazing positional play here. So she's got the grub of the lawn quite well, Green and Brown, from what I can see. It's just some of her hoop approaches have not been on target.
A little unfortunate not to hit the white ball. Now white in control with pink not far away. So Kate should take control of this hoop. Okay, with an option in her next turn to promote the white ball to a hoop running position. Julie may or may not be thinking that, but it will put the pressure on Brown to hit a ball if she does it.
Yeah, I'd certainly be promoting my ball. It just automatically puts that pressure back onto Brown.
Yeah.